Journey to Become a True God. Episode 2. Chen. Oh yeah, how could you be kidnapped by those people just now? Su Mengshin began to remember. I was attending a party. But because many people were trying to gather around me, it made me uncomfortable, so I intended to get some fresh air outside. But from behind, someone held me with a handkerchief with sleeping pills, and when I woke up, I was already there. A container truck with some people in it armed. Chen. Oh, I see. Then do you know what their purpose was to kidnap you? Su Mengshin. I also don't know, maybe they want money or something. Su Mengshin answered uncertainly. I understand, you must be hungry. Eat this roast chicken. Chen handed over another piece of meat to Su Mengshin. Su Mengshin took the danging from Chen's hand. Seeing the roast chicken, he was a little doubtful whether it could be eaten, seeing Su Mengshin's hesitation to eat it, so Chen tried to convince him, with gusto. Su Mengshin's Poochie laughing. Seeing the way Chen ate, so Su Mengshin smelled the aroma. First, the aroma of this roasted chicken was very fragrant, then Su Mengshin took one small bite. Su Mengshin felt that this roast chicken was very tasty, so he took one more bite. Chen saw Su Mengshin eating gracefully. It didn't seem to be that he cared about his image. After finishing their meal, they exchanged many words, and Chen also told some funny jokes to Su Mengshin. The two of them did not expect their relationship to be very close. Chen also didn't skip over to this opportunity and absorb Su Mengshin's yin qi. Let's get down and find a way out of this huatan. Chen stood up from his seat. Su Mengshin also just remembered they were in a tree now. Su Mengshin also stood up from his seat and stood beside Chen's body. He looked down, and it turned out that this tree was quite high at an estimated 15 meters from the ground. Su Mengshin began to think about how Chen could carry him up when he fainted. Oh, come on down. Chen then held Su Mengshin like a princess. Su Mengshin did not expect Chen would treat him like this. He was quite happy. But the next instant Su Mengshin became afraid. Ah! Chen immediately took him jumping down. Su Mengshin only closed his eyes and buried his face in Chen's chest. After a few seconds, the sound of the wind stopped. Su Mengshin was relieved that the two of them were still alive. He did not expect that Chen would immediately jump down, especially the height of the tree was still 15 meters. Chen, you almost scared me to death. Su Mengshin tried to protest to Chen. Ha ha ha, we are still alive, so it's okay. Chen then walked first, and was followed by Su Mengshin behind him. If they wanted to get out of this forest, it was better to follow in the footsteps of the assassins just now. Actually, if Chen wanted to leave the forest, this was easy enough because he could fly right away. But he couldn't do it, because after all there was Su Mengshin nearby. Chen didn't want to expose his strength, so he can only walk with Su Mengshin. Su Mengshin still wore a cloth to cover her body. After a few minutes of walking, Chen and Su Mengshin arrived at the Chen battlefield before. Su Mengshin saw a lot of corpses lying on the ground. Out of curiosity, Su Mengshin asked Chen, Chen, are you the one who did this? How can I explain it? I just beat them up, so I left them for a few minutes, and when I returned they all died. I predict they were killed by their own colleagues. Chen did not think that Su Mengshin was not afraid to see many corpses. He was used to seeing this. I understand. Su Mengshin did not ask further. Even if Chen killed them, he would not blame him, because after all, Chen's life. Asti was struck because if he didn't do it, then Chen himself might be the one who would die. Let's just follow this trail. Maybe we will find a way. Then they both walked together through this forest. Ah! Suddenly Su Mengshin fell. Seeing this, Chen immediately approached and asked, What's wrong? I sprained my ankle. Su Mengshin wore wearing shoes that were pretty good and not suitable for walking in a forest full of plants and rocks like this. Hold on a moment, I will help you. Chen then gently grabbed Su Mengshin's feet and massaged her. Only from the chin. Su Mengshin groaned. With pleasure, Mengshin did not deny that Chen's massage technique was very good. Finished. Ye Chen saw Su Mengshin close his eyes and really enjoyed his massage. How can you stand up? Listen to Ye Chen's words. Finally, Su Mengshin woke up and tried to stand up, but when he wanted to stand up, Su Mengshin felt his feet soft and would fall. Ye Chen immediately reacted and held Pingang Su Mengshin's support. Su Mengshin, are you all right? Ye Chi asked worriedly. Not just a little limp while holding onto Ye Chen. Then how about I carry you then? Ye Chen asked me to carry Su Mengshin. Doesn't Ye Chen bother you? Embarrassed. It will not bother me at all. Come on, otherwise the day might get more and more. Ye Chen bowed and waited for Su Mengshin to get on his back. Su Mengshin then went up to Ye Chen's back. On Ye Chen's back, Su Mengshin felt a safe and comfortable feeling. While for Ye Chen to feel a gentle object pressing on his back, Ye Chen also touched the danger so that Su Mengshin would not fall. Su Mengshin was very embarrassed when Ye Chen touched her thigh, but he did not protest because it was hugged so as not to fall. The back of a man is very wide and comfortable, Su Mengshin muttered. You say something? Ye Chen asked. No. Su Mengshin didn't expect Ye Chen to hear that. During this half hour while walking in the footsteps of Ye Chen holding Su Mengshin without behenti at all, Su Mengshin was closing his eyes and enjoying it. But he wasn't asleep. Ye Chen suddenly stopped. Tired? Asked Su Mengshin Ye Chen. It doesn't seem like some helicopters are flying towards us. Su Mengshin didn't hear the sound of the helicopter approaching, so he was confused with Ye Chen. For listener Ye Chen, no need to doubt. After 1 minute. Finally, Su Mengshin heard the sound of a propeller from the helicopter. Ye Chen looked up. He saw several helicopters and from his emblem belonged to the government army. Ye Chen, let's go to the open place so they can see us. Fine. Ye Chen brought Su Mengshin to an open place and lowered it. We are here, we are here. Su Mengshin tried to wave her hand and shouted for the helicopter to see them. Seeing Su Mengshin's reaction, Su Mengshin might know these people, Ye Chen said in his heart. Because Su Mengshin knew them, so there was no need to protect him. Ye Chen finally went sneaking and hiding behind a tree. Ye Chen, we are safe, eh? When he turned, Su Mengshin did not see the figure of Ye Chen Su Mengshin looking around, and still did not see the signs of Ye Chen as he evaporated into the air. Ye Chen, where are you? Su Mengshin tried to call, but there was no response at all. The helicopter that saw Su Mengshin immediately went down, while Ye Chen was still watching behind the tree if something unwanted happened. When the door to the helicopter was opened, Ye Chen saw a woman with the clothes of the army down and was followed by several armed soldiers. Ye Chen saw these people. They must be very well trained, whereas the woman who was highly respected by these people seemed to be a cultivator and was in the early stages of the earth realm, and it was estimated that this woman's age was almost the same as Su Mengshin. On her shirt, there was a dragon symbol. Ye Chen had heard that there was a Chinese-owned special army named Dragon, and the leader was a very beautiful woman. Even in the rumors, he had destroyed a terrorist organization that had thousands of members of its own, but no one had ever known its face or what its name was. Because members of the Dragon army are very mysterious and very secretive. And it was said that this woman was also a member of the Dragon Special Forces, and her strength was quite strong. Seeing him, really Su Mengshin female warrior was happy. Miss Su, your grandfather was very anxious about your disappearance. The woman looked at Su Mengshin from top to bottom, even though he was only wearing a blanket, but there were no traces of injuries on his body, so he was relieved. So the woman gave him his clothes and covered Su Mengshin. Miss Su, did something happen to you? Asked the female soldier. Su Mengshin ignored the woman and continued to try to trace Ye Chen. Come on, Miss Su. We go home. This place is not good for you. The woman tried to pull Su Mengshin into the helicopter, but Su Mengshin tried to rebel. Wait a minute. Ye Chen, I know you are still around here, so come out. Come with me. Leave this forest. There is still no answer at all. The female soldier near Su Mengshin confessed that she was a cultivator. She could certainly detect the people around her, but she did not feel at all the existence of other people except the soldiers who followed behind her. Miss Su, There is no one here. Let's go home. Maybe you are hallucinating. No, it's not a hallucination. How is it a hallucination? He felt affection and comfort when he was near Ye Chen that had never been given by anyone else or even his family. Su Mengxin, since she was a child, lived alone. All her family were busy working and working together. She never had time for herself, so Su Mengxin never felt love or comfort from her family. Miss, we have to leave the forest quickly, or else grandfather will be very angry later. Su Mengxin knew that Ye Chen was avoiding him. Are you trying to hide from this woman? One day I will definitely find you. Su Mengxin then went to the helicopter before she entered. Su Mengxin did not forget to turn her head, and she entered the helicopter. After that, the helicopter flew and left the forest. Ye Chen then came out of his hiding place. It seems like Su Mengxin's background is strong enough that even his grandfather could rule the elite army. The reason Ye Chen avoided it was because if he joined Su Mengxin, he might be suspected by this army and would bring trouble in the future. Ye Chen saw the helicopter getting more and more distant until it didn't look good. Time to go home. I haven't visited Grandpa's grave for over 2 years. Ye Chen then flew and went towards his hometown. Ye Chen flew very relaxed, and Ye Chen needed more than an hour to arrive at his hometown. An old wooden house was finally seen. All the wood from this house looked broken. This house might collapse at any time and was very unsuitable to live in. This was Ye Chen's house and his grandfather's past, and was a place full of memories from his grandfather. Ye Chen walked towards the entrance. After entering the goods and furniture inside, it still looked the same as when Ye Chen left this house, although there were many now. Dust and also lots of cobwebs in the house because it hasn't been cleaned for a long time. Ye Chen went into his room and opened a drawer in the drawer. There was a picture of Ye Chen and his grandfather. This was the only picture that Ye Chen took with his grandfather. Ye Chen's grandfather's name was Ye Hun, even though he was not his real grandfather, but Ye Hun had taken care of Ye Chen from childhood until he grew up. Ye Chen was very eager to make Ye Hun happy and always studied hard so that Ye Chen could get a decent job and be able to make his grandfather happy. But fate said otherwise. When Ye Chen was 15 years old, his grandfather slipped and entered the abyss, leaving Ye Chen alone. Ye Chen began to support himself by selling vegetables and fruit that can be found on the mountain. Because Ye Chen's backyard was a forest, so Ye Chen could always get free food from the wild. A year later, Ye Chen graduated and got a scholarship, and Ye Chen could go to school in the city. Oh, I forgot I had been away for a long time and maybe I will be expelled from school. Ye Chen almost forgot if he had been gone for a long time, even though Ye Chen had been gone for almost a year and a half. But it was in the wheel of time, and it is estimated that only 1 month in the real world. Seeing the many problems that Ye Chen had to face, he decided to solve them later. Ye Chen was a cultivator of trivial issues like this that could definitely be easily overcome. Ye Chen then went to the forest behind the house to look for bunga. After Ye Chen found the flower he was looking for, Ye Chen picked it and arranged it. Ye Chen immediately went to the public cemetery in this village where Ye Hun was buried. When he got there, Ye Chen searched for his grandfather's grave. Ye Chen found it under the headstone of Ye Hun's grave. There was a bouquet of flowers, and it looked quite new. It was predicted that 2 or 3 days ago someone had visited his tomb. Ye Chen was quite confused because grandfather did not have distant relatives, and only Ye Chen was only his family. So Ye Chen was quite curious about Sia, who placed this essay on what might be the wrong place. Ye Chen finally approached and put his wreath under the headstone. Ye Chen crouched down and held the headstone. Sorry, grandfather, I haven't visited you for a long time. I hope you are happy there and no longer need to worry about me because your granddaughter is no longer like before. I promise we'll live a good and happy life from now on, said Ye Chen in tears. Ye Chen recalled all the things he went through with his grandfather Ye Hun. Their likes and sorrows passed together. Ye Chen did not realize that the day was getting darker, so Ye Chen said goodbye and went home. In this house, there were no electric lighting devices, only candles. So Ye Chen took a crystal from his storage ring and put it on the table as Ye poured the strength of his profound crystal that shined quite brightly. Of course Ye Chen didn't sleep. He started to cultivate again, maybe because it had become a habit for Ye Chen at this time. Time goes on and on. Knock knock. A knock from the door. Who's visiting me at this time of the night? Ye Chen then moved out of his bed and opened the door. When the door opened, Ye Chen saw the head of Huangbao village standing at the door. Village head, what are you doing at this time of night at my place? Ye Chen asked. Who are you? Why do you live in the Ye family's home? Huangbao doesn't know who is the man who opened this door. Ye Hun's house no longer inhabits because Ye Chen was also in the city at the time. So when he saw the Ye family's house had light, he went there and ascertained whether Ye Chen went home. But at this moment Huangbao doesn't know the handsome young man who opened the door, so he asked, Ye Chen, village head, you visited my house and do not know who I am, whether your head was kicked by a horse just now. You are Ye Chen. You are very different from the Ye Chen I used to know. Huangbao looked up and down and couldn't believe that this Ye Chen was even better looking than the actors on television. Ye Chen. Yes, so what do you need at this time of night? May I go in? I will explain inside. Please. Ye Chen let Huangbao into the house. Huangbao then sat in a chair that was very old, even when Huangbao sat in the chair, making a sound that might break. Actually, to come here I want to give you something. Huangbao then issued a letter and handed it to Ye Chen. Ye Chen took a letter from Huangbao and opened it. Inside the letter there was a sheet of paper which was neatly folded. Ye Chen read the contents of the letter. After reading, Ye Chen asked, Who are these letters from? Here. A few days ago someone was looking for your grandfather, and that person said that he was your grandfather's friend, so I told him he was dead, and the old man was quite shocked. And then he asked in your grandfather's meal, so I took him to the grandfather's possession. There the man told me to leave him alone. Huangbao told everything that happened a few days ago to Ye Chen. Huangbao. After a few hours later, that person came again and asked me if Ye Hun had a child, so I told him that Ye Hun did not have a child but had a grandchild who was in school named Ye Chen. That person then asked for a picture of yourself. Dear, I have. But I said that Ye Chen used to come back here every few months and might come here soon too. So that person gave me a letter and asked to give it to you when you get back later. I see. Listen to this. Ye Chen understood why there was a bunga essay in his grandfather's grave. Huangbao was quite curious about the contents of the letter and asked, Ye Chen, what is in the letter? That person wants me to go to his place and want to talk privately with me. Here it says the complete address of that person. Oh yeah, I almost forgot. That person is very rich. He drives a luxury car that costs millions of dollars. When he said luxury car, Huangbao's eyes shining in the village. Very rarely does anyone see a luxury car, let alone have it. Even Huangbao, who is the head of his annual salary village, only $20,000. What's more, the population here may be less than $5,000 a year, because that is a lot of people from the village who try their luck in big cities. Ye Chen, really, but my grandfather never told me about friends or relatives to me. If you're curious, why don't you just go to that address again? You're now living in the same city, said Huangbao. Ye Chen, you Bernard, maybe I will go there to make sure who this person is. Well, Ye Chen is late and I also have to go. There is still a lot of work that I have not completed. Huangbao then stood up from his chair and left Ye Chen's house. After escorting the head of Huangbao village go to the door, Ye Chen returned to the cross-legged bed and started cultivating again. Initially, Ye Chen was very bored while cultivating, but over time Ye Chen started to get used to it, even though the longest time Ye Chen cultivated was only 5 days, but it was long enough according to Ye Chen. When Ye Chen had raped, Ye Chen would train his body, or some of the moves Ye Chen learned. Ye Chen also learned how to forge spiritual equipment, even though Ye Chen learned through the book given by Gu Xuan. Author's note: to forge spiritual equipment requires some special ingredients, and if during the process fails, then all materials will be lost, and someone must have the attributes of fire and control are very good, when doing forging. The sound of a cock crowing sounded Chen, then opened his eyes to rise from his bed. Today, before Chen returned to the city, Chen first want to renovate this house. Because this house had a lot of decayed wood at an age. So Chen went to the mountain and cut down a few trees. Of course, Chen used his power because the location of Chen's house was near the mountain and a little far from the neighbors. Quite rare people came to the mountain. Chen drew with his sword, and Chen waved his wooden stick flying behind with him. The process of repairing the house turned out to take quite a long time. Finally, the house that looked already had to look like it was new. Chen carved several pictures of dragons on the pillars of the house and walls. When Chen was finished, it was already midday. So Chen left and returned to the city, because Chen did not have a penny in his body. Chen decided to fly alone. Besides saving money, it also saved travel time. The time that should have been 6 hours to go from the village to the city was only within 15 minutes. Chen had arrived near the city gate. First of all, Chen went to his Koskosan house and hoped that his belongings would not be discarded by the landlord while flying in Chen city, using a shield to hide himself from being seen by people in the city. When he reached the front yard of his rented room, Chen immediately went to the door and opened the door, but unfortunately it was in the lock, so Chen knocked on that door. A fat man opens the door. "Hello, friend, can I help you?" "Are you the new tenant in this room?" Chen asked. "Yes, I just rented this a few days ago," answered the fat man. "Oh, sorry for disturbing me then. Excuse me first." Chen didn't want to waste time, so he decided to go to the landlord's place and ask where his belongings were. The house owned by the landlord was not far away, only a few hundred meters from the location of the rented room belonging to Chen. After a few minutes, Chen walked to the end of the house belonging to the landlord. Chen knocked on the house. "Wait a minute," a voice from within answered. After a while, the last 40-year-old woman opened the door. This woman, wearing very open clothes, had a very thick makeup. The landlord, who opened the door, was surprised to see a handsome man standing in front of his house. Seeing this man, the landlord rose up. This landlord often slept with different men every day even. Some young men who could not pay rent were forced to serve him at nighttime. 30 is like a tiger, and 40 is like a tiger. And at this time, looking at the handsome Chen was like a dangling delivered to the mouth of a tiger. Chen saw the eyes of the hungry landlord who was starving. Chen began to worry. All Chen wanted to do was to get his old things. "Hello, my landlord. Chen is a tenant in a room in room 8. Before I came here, I want to take my new goods. Is my item still available?" Chen asked politely. But landlords like Ina did not listen to Chen at all. His thoughts were only wanted to immediately contact the team with this handsome man. "What's sorry I'm not with?" Chen repeated the words. "I was a tenant in the 8th room. Before I came and wanted to take my belongings. What is still left? Is my stuff still available?" "Oh, of course there is. Please go in first." The landlord invited Chen to enter. These landlords named Yuyai and Yuyai took Chen to the living room and told Chen to sit. Then Yuyai Peggy went to the 2nd floor to get Chen's belongings. For a long time, Chen did not expect Yuyai to be very long when he took Chen's items above. Finally, the sound of footsteps coming from above. Chen saw Yuyai holding Chen's bag. But the strange thing was, that old woman Yuyai was wearing a transparent nightgown and was wearing a sexy underwear. Obviously, this whore wanted to tease Chen. The thing that feared Chen finally happened. This woman definitely wanted to do something strange to Chen. Yuyai approached Chen and sat next to Chen. Old woman Yuyai then handed the ta-situ to Chen. "This is your stuff." Chen immediately received the bag and saw what was inside of it. And everything was indeed belonged to Chen. When Chen checked the bag, Yuyai's fingers touched Chen's thigh and dishonestly teased him. "Handsome man, how about tonight? Accompany me." The thing that Chen was afraid of finally happened. This prostitute really had an idea to him. Ye Chen immediately put Yu Ye's hand away and away from him. Landlord, please guard your attitude. Come on, look, come here. I still have a pretty good body. Do you not want to? Yu Ye continued to say vulgar words. Ye Chen was displeased with this, and Ye Chen immediately stood up and went straight to the exit, but the locked exit. Ye Chen frowned. Ha ha, handsome. You won't be able to run away from me tonight. Old lady Yu Ye laughed. How could a wooden door stop a person like Ye Chen? Ye Chen used his strength to open that door, and immediately ran as fast as he could. See, Ye Chen can't open the door. Yu Ye panicked and immediately chased after Ye Chen. But when Yu Ye at the door, Yu Ye did not see the figure of Ye Chen. Wherever damn handsome man managed to escape from me, if I met again, I would not let go of him. Ye Chen had entered into a small alley. Ye Chen found it strange that the landlord would not have seen it, but now his reaction now was not too much. Ye Chen then went to the money withdrawal machine to see the remaining money in his savings account. When Ye Chen checked it, the 3-digit numbers appeared on the screen. Only stayed $150. With a little money, Ye Chen might not be enough for Ye Chen's needs. Moreover, Ye Chen needed new clothes. Because his old clothes no longer fit to be used at this time, Ye Chen decided to buy clothes first. Fortunately, near here there was a clothing store that was quite large at a relatively cheap price. When Ye Chen entered into Ye Chen welcomed by the employee girl in the clothing store when the woman saw Ye Chen. The woman was stunned. Ah, handsome. The woman's face flushed a very embarrassed gaze like a woman who was in love. Ye Chen. I want to buy clothes that are suitable for my size. But the employee girl did not listen and was still focused on watching Ye Chen's face. Ye Chen finally coughed. Coughing, Ye Chen woke the girl. Ah, what you said just now. I said I want to buy a suit for my size, Ye Chen said. The girl then saw Ye Chen's body and saw the clothes worn by Ye Chen quite worn out. Come here, I have clothes that might suit you. Without waiting for Ye Chen's approval, the servant girl pulled Ye Chen toward the clothes rack. In the mind of the Ye Chen employee, girl might be a person who wasn't too rich, and maybe he could take care of her being a white face. If Ye Chen knew what was on the mind of this employee girl, maybe Ye Chen would be upset. The servant girl chose a few clothes and pants and handed them to Ye Chen. Handsome, hurry up, you try. Ye Chen then went to the dressing room. When Ye Chen opened his upper shirt, the employee girl suddenly opened a little how-to-fit gap. Before the employee girl finished, her words stopped. Wow, perfect abdominal muscles. Seeing Ye Chen's naked girl's chest was getting more and more excited. Hey Chin, what are you doing to our customers? A female voice sounded behind the servant girl. Ah, my brother Lin, The girl who was called by Chin was nervous when trying to answer. How could he tell if he was peeking at customers? So the woman named Lin walked alongside the Chin girl, and when she saw the handsome man who was in the locker room, Lin's woman's heartbeat was getting faster. Lin Burlam had seen this handsome man in his life, and even his idol actors in front of Ye Chen could only be in trash say. The woman named Lin abandoned the Chin girl and immediately grabbed Ye Chen's hands. Handsome, do you want to be my girlfriend? Lin's woman immediately stated her feelings. This Chin girl who heard was angry. Brother Lin, don't you already have a boyfriend? How can you do this? Lin girl, I will immediately break up with him, Lin replied without turning her face. The Chin girl did not accept and tried to separate Lin and Ye Chen. What are you trying to do? Said Lin angrily. I found it first, so he belongs to me. Chin tried to resist. Haha Chin, look at you. You want to compete with my chest. You are still quite small, while insulting Chin Lin, showing off 2 big mountains. How could Chin girls accept with defeat? I can still grow, but look at you soon. A wrinkle will appear on your face. This woman Lin's not happy. Both of them continued to throw mocking words at each other, whereas Ye Chen quickly wore his clothes. The commotion of these 2 people pulled a few customers and employees in the shop. When the women who saw Ye Chen's face, they immediately fell in love and immediately rushed towards Ye Chen. Seeing some women snort at Ye Chen, feeling uneasy in his heart, Ye Chen saw various women of different ages gathering near Ye Chen. Handsome, be my girlfriend. Handsome, let's get married. Handsome, how if you become my little lover, I will give you 10 pounds of body weight every month. Don't listen to this woman if you want to be my man, then you can do everything you want on my body. Words like this came out of the crowd of women. Ye Chen was quite confused because he had never faced a situation like this in his life. Ye Chen wanted to leave this place immediately, but his escape route was blocked by a crowd of women. Ye Chen finally jumped over the crowd and immediately headed for the shop exit. Ah, he's run away. Go after him until he escapes. Come after me, I want him. The female crowd agreed and immediately chased after Ye Chen. Today was truly a strange day for Ye Chen, how the women could be like that, whether they were possessed by an evil spirit or something. Ye Chen finally stopped at an intersection, but a few moments later, there was the sound of footsteps from the crowd. And when Ye Chen looked back, it turned out that the crowd of women were still chasing him, so Ye Chen ran again. Ye Chen entered into an old-type Chinese clothing store hiding in a corner and used a barrier so he wouldn't be found. It turned out that these women did not want to give up some of them into every shop and alley to look for Ye Chen. After searching in all angles and not finding Ye Chen, some women were finally going to go. Ye Chen detected the surroundings and the women had left. Ye Chen finally came out of the place he was hiding. Ye Chen had no idea being handsome. It could be very troublesome. The biggest reason for Ye Chen's change might be because he learned the king's heart technique. Ye Chen really failed to buy clothes today. If it continues like this, it will be troublesome every step. Even though Ye Chen needs yin, a woman does not mean that Ye Chen will fuck all women that Ye Chen likes. King's heart technique can also be said. A dual cultivation technique, a woman who has practiced a dual cultivation technique with Ye Chen will also get quite extraordinary benefits. In the King's Heart book, it is also written that both parties can not only increase their cultivation base, even women can become much prettier and softer if doing dual cultivation with Ye Chen. If it was known by women, then more and more women would chase after Ye Chen. Every woman would want to be a substitute, and even a goddess in the god realm was no exception. What else? A mortal woman on earth was an irresistible temptation. NT. I forgot to explain Techni King's Heart to the readers. I hope you guys can explain my explanation. Ye Chen had already decided to hide his face. So later, Ye Chen would make a skin mask to change his face like before Ye Chen started the path of cultivation. But first, Ye Chen wanted to do something first. When he looked around this shop and saw the old type of clothes that were rarely glimpsed by young people in the current era, but this was really suitable to hide Ye Chen's appearance. Ye Chen took his clothes and some other items and went to the dressing room. When Ye Chen came out, he was wearing a black shirt, round black sunglasses, and Ye Chen was wearing a crooked hat. Ye Chen, that was previously long, now had been cut to short. Ye Xian cut his hair only with a knife. Ye Chen's skill didn't need to be questioned. Ye's appearance Chen is very strange right now. Ye Chen then went to the cashier and wanted to pay for these items. Uncle, how much are these items? The uncle saw the clothes worn by Ye Chen, and also the additional items. Total. All the items you were wearing were $50. Ye Chen then handed the $50 to the uncle. This is the money. Then Ye Chen left the store. On the road, there might be some people who looked at Ye Chen, but after that they started ignoring him. Looks like this works, Ye Chen said silently. In front of Ye Chen there were two men who were talking about something that caught Ye Chen's attention. Hey, do you want to go to the Antiques Festival or not? Huh, what's good is that only old people like things like that. Ha. Do you think there are only parents there when I hear that many beautiful girls from rich families also come there to accompany their parents or grandfather? Why didn't you say let's go there earlier? The Antiques Festival happened to be a coincidence that I could sell some items I had there. Ye Chen then followed the two men to find where the Antique Festival was. After following for several minutes, Ye Chen saw a lot of stalls selling various antiques. Even there are some stalls that try to offer spiritual objects at very high prices. Ye Chen is here too, to sell an item. Now this item is a bracelet that Danpat neutralizes poison in the body, accelerates all blood circulation, and can accelerate one's healing. This bracelet was made by Chen when he was bored of practicing, although this could be categorized as a second-level spiritual tool, but the price should not be too low. He and Chen had named it a Zilao bracelet. So Chen set up a stall quite simple with a piece of cloth for the base. Let's buy a Zilao bracelet that can neutralize toxins in your body, accelerate all of your blood circulation, and can even accelerate regenerating damaged organs. Chen is trying to offer his bracelet. How much is the bracelet? A 40-year-old man tried to raise the price. This uncle is very cheap. It costs only $100,000, answered Chen. What? What did your head just hit on the bracelet wall? Like this, it costs $100,000, said uncle while insulting Chen. This uncle is quite cheap. I have given you as much as 90% discount, and don't look at his shape. The effect is extraordinary. The price for health is very expensive. This is very cheap. If you don't buy it, you will definitely regret it for life. Chen tried to convince this buyer. Did you say the price of this bracelet is 1 million? If you want to fool this old man, you have to be smarter. The uncle finally left while cursing Chen with unpleasant words. To convince the people here is quite difficult. If this in the world of cultivators is definitely this thing, the price must be very expensive. But unfortunately, this is on Earth, and only a few believe in the existence of magic and magical objects. Chen kept trying to offer the Zilao bracelet. Every time someone wanted to buy it, and Chen opened their prices, they would immediately insult Chen. To make this one bracelet wasn't easy. Even Chen failed several times, which made Chen lose some ingredients and cores from the magic beasts. It's been almost 2 hours, but no one wants to buy this bracelet, seeing that it's impossible to sell it here. Chen decided to pack up and leave this place empty-handed. But when Chen was packing, someone spoke to him. Are you still selling this bracelet? Chen mendongan and see a beautiful woman with long straight hair and a body that has developed very well. The woman is wearing a one-piece gown with a branded bag on her arm. This woman's beauty was almost comparable to the Sumengshin Chen had seen. Even though this woman was slightly defeated at the summit of the 2 peaks of the mountain, but it was still big enough if you wanted to bury your face in the 2 slits of the mountain. Chen. Oh, of course I still sell it. Are you really interested in this? Yes, I'm interested in this bracelet, so how much is it? Ask the beautiful woman. The price is $100,000. Chen began to explain the usefulness of the Zilao bracelet. Does this really work as you said earlier? Beautiful woman. A little doubtful with Chen's explanation. Of course, if I lie, then I'm willing to be struck by lightning 1,000 times. Chen took an oath to convince this beautiful woman. All right, I'll take this bracelet. This woman is actually still doubtful, but somehow her intuition says different. Women's intuition is very strong. That's why this beautiful woman prefers to trust her intuition. During this time has the opportunity to cure my grandmother. It does not matter. This beautiful woman's grandmother has been ill for years, and doctors say her grandmother's liver is damaged. Her grandmother's body condition is getting worse. Need to know that the liver functions to neutralize all poisons in the body, and if it is damaged, then poisons will accumulate in the body, and that person can die. Of course, this Zilao bracelet can heal the heart of this beautiful woman's grandmother, even though the process is not possible instantaneously and requires some time. The beautiful woman took $100 from her bag and intended to pay for Zilao's bracelet. Chen also took the bracelet and wanted to hand it over to the beautiful woman when the handover would be done. A hand suddenly blocked Chen and the beautiful woman. A young man in a blue suit is next to Chen. Heir, how can you trust this person? This young man obstructed this beautiful woman to buy Chen's bracelet. This is not your business, and don't call me with that disgusting name. You and I have nothing to do with anything. The beautiful woman was angry with the young man in the blue suit. Heir is also for your own good. How can I let you be deceived by someone like this? The blue-eyed young man looked at Chen with a provoking look. Mr. Bai, I remind you, don't call my name. Like that again, you are not who I am. It's not your business anyway. Why do you always try to interfere in all my business? I do not reprimand you because I give a face to your father. But if you keep doing things like that, don't blame I am because, said Yue woman, looking at the man in the blue suit with a cold gaze. The name of the young man in the blue suit turned out to be Bai-san. Well, I understand, Liu Yue, but why do you want to buy this fake item? You are a smart business queen, but today you are so stupid to be fooled by this con artist? Ask Bai-san. What did you just say? You said that I was stupid. Liu Yue's gaze was getting colder and Liu Yue was getting angry. Damn, I misspoke, Bai-san said in his heart. Bai-san is one of the pursuers of Liu Yue. His father is the vice chairman of the Liu Group, who is also a confidant of Liu Yue. Bai-san this month. Bai-san has tried various ways to please Liu Yue, but unfortunately, this woman still did not see it in the slightest. Just look at you, Liu Yue. If my father's plan works, then I will make sure you will crawl under my feet. Bai-san spoke in his heart. Bai-san. Sorry, Liu Yue. I was just wrong. Please don't be angry. Chen, who heard the conversation, the two of them began to understand who this woman was. Liu Yue is the owner of the Liu Group, which has many companies that move in various sectors. Even Ye Chen used to often use belongings belonging to the Liu Group, so Ye Chen also knew how strong the Liu Group was. And the Liu Group's stock market reached hundreds of billions of dollars, if Ye Chen knew. Before he would surely Ye Chen would raise the price of this bracelet several times. For Yue $100,000 was only like $100 for him. But Liu Yue looked away and ignored her. Bai-san was very angry, but Bai-san couldn't possibly take it out on Liu Yue, because after all Liu Yue was still his father's boss. If Bai-san did something strange to Liu Yue's career, and his father's secret plan would definitely be ruined. So Bai-san could only take it out on Ye Chen. The line pulled the Ye Chen collar that was sitting on the ground. You con artist, you know who are you trying to fool? It is the woman this young master likes, and you see because of you. Liu Yue is angry at me. If you said that you are a con artist, so I will let you stay in this city. But if you refuse, then I will make sure you will not be able to go back to this city. Bai-san speaks to Ye Chen with a voice that is not big, so only Ye Chen can listen to him. Huh, who do you call a con artist? The goods I sell are really authentic, Ye Chen said. Bai-san, ha ha ha, do you think I did not hear what you were promoting earlier? How could such items exist in this world? The items you said earlier were only in films only. Well, it's up to you whether you want to believe it or not. That makes no difference, Ye Chen said. So you refused my orders. Good Bai-san then raised his fist and ready to hit Ye Chen's face. Liu Yue, who was standing behind Bai-san, tried to stop him, but it was too late. Ye Chen didn't even avoid it and still sat like before. Bang! A voice rang out, and Liu Yue thought that Ye Chen would be hurt. But Liu Yue saw that Bai-san was holding the hand he used to hit Ye Chen in pain. Damn, your skin ache is made of really hard. Bai-san protested. Of course, Ye Chen's physical body was so strong that maybe Bai-san could hurt him. For Ye Chen, Pukalan Bai-san was just like someone poked Ye Chen. It turned out that Bai-san did not give up. He used his hard shoes to kick Ye Chen. This time Ye Chen stood up and immediately grabbed the collar of Bai-san's suit and lifted him into the air very easily. Bai-san didn't think that Ye Chen was really very tall. Bai-san was only 168 centimeters, while Ye Chen was 182 centimeters. Because Ye Chen had sat down, Bai-san hadn't noticed at all. Ye Chen, looks like you still haven't bled too. Pa! Pa! A slap sound very crispy in the ears of many people. You dare to hit me, I will definitely kill you. Pa! Pa! The sound of a slap sounded again. You are still brave. You know I am the brother of a wolf who is the biggest gang in the city. If I tell him, then you will definitely be killed. Pa! Pa! Again a slap sound was heard, but Bai-san did not give up and continued to curse Ye Chen Pa. Pa! 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 The sound of a slap is constantly stopping. I'm sorry, I'm wrong. Please spare me. Bai-san now begging his cheeks to feel burned and his face almost like a pig's butt. Be good if you still dare to provoke me, then the next is not your face that I hit, but I will knock out all the teeth you have. Ye Chen warned Bai San in a threatening tone. Ye Chen then threw him a few meters. Bai San didn't dare to stay anymore and hurried away. Just look, I'll find Brother Wolf and ask him to get rid of you from this world. Bai San only dared to say in his heart because fear Ye Chen would hit him again. Ye Chen turned his head and looked at Liu Yue Terseum at him. Ye Chen, oh yes, Miss Liu, sorry, hit your friend just now. Liu Yue. He is not my friend anymore. I even give thanks because you get rid of him. That is so disturbing me. If you don't like it, why don't you send him away directly? Ye Chen asked. Liu Yue. His father is the vice chairman of my company. Actually, I wanted to evict his father and son, but the father of Bai San turned out to have many connections from shareholders, because that is difficult to get rid of. Oh, I understand. Then what about our business? Do you still want to buy it? Asked Ye Chen Liu Yue. Of course, Liu Yue then handed over a stack of $100 to Ye Chen. After receiving the money and making sure the real money, Ye Chen gave the bracelet to Liu Yue. Ye Chen, thank you for doing business. Same if I excuse myself first. There are things I have to do. Liu Yue then walked away, but after a few steps she said, Oh yeah, I don't know yet. I may know? My name is Ye Chen. Ye Chen did not hide his real name to Liu Yue. Ye Chen, I'll remember, my name is Liu Yue. If you need help, don't hesitate to come to me. Then Liu Yue walked away and disappeared in the crowd. Ye Chen didn't understand Liu Yue's thoughts, according to her. This woman's mind was complicated. How could she promise something to someone she had just met? Ye Chen didn't think too much about it and prepared to leave. A group of people who had tattoos and carried pipes and wood came to Ye Chen. There were a total of 6 people, one of whom was in the front row, with the hair color in the paint, with the blonde color. Big brother, it looks like this person's trait. The young man said to the person at the very front, and this might be their boss. Ye Chen, what do you want from me? Of course we have come here to beat you so that your entire face will no longer be recognizable, said the leader of the thugs, Ye Chen. But I don't know you guys and have never had a problem with you guys. Ye Chen doesn't remember dealing with people from the underworld before. Ha ha ha, did you really forget that you just hit the brother of our boss and you're still asking what the problem is? Isn't that a joke? Said the blonde man. Huh. It turns out, Bai San. Just see if I see you again, then I will make sure I knock out all your teeth. Ye Chen had been merciful before, but did not think Bai San still wanted to find a problem with him. Ye Chen was actually lazy to deal with the barking dogs, so Ye Chen took a spell paper from his storage ring and threw it towards the 5 people behind the blonde man. What are you waiting for? Quick, beat him! Blonde man commanded the subordinates behind him. Good boss! These friends immediately picked up metal pipes and wooden baseball bats and moved forward. The people who were at the antiques exhibition started to crowd and see what was going to happen. Some people already felt sorry for Ye Chen's misfortune. Those in the city certainly know who these thugs are. They are members of the underground gang named the Red Wolf, who are also one of the 3 largest underground gangs in the city. Ah! A scream of pain sounded, but this is not Ye Chen's, but the property of the blonde-haired man. The blonde-haired man was beaten by his own men. What are you doing? Why are you hitting me? Ah, my face wooden baseball. The onlookers who saw this were their jaws falling to the ground, and their brains could not process what was happening now, because the thug who was supposed to hit Ye Chen instead hit the person who gave the order to them. Ye Chen was delighted to see this. Actually, the spell paper that Ye Chen threw could create an illusion, and the illusion that Ye Chen wanted was to make that blonde-haired man become Ye Chen. Therefore, the 5 thugs saw the blonde-haired man as Ye Chen. Because the effect of the illusion spell paper was only for a moment, Ye Chen immediately packed up his belongings and left this place unnoticed by the people around him. Feel this, bro. Bang. You dare to provoke us to feel this in the hoodlums of thugs. They are beating Ye Chen, but actually they don't know that they are beating their superiors. The blonde-haired man kept screaming in pain all over his face had many lumps and bloody everywhere. Even the blonde-haired man could hardly be recognized. Finally, after 5 minutes, the effect of the spell paper finally disappeared. "Ah, boss, how can you be here? Where is that person?" asked one of the people who hit the blonde-haired man. "The blonde-haired man is trying to stand up from the ground. Pa, 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 pa." 5 hard slaps landed on the thugs' faces. "What are you, blind? You just hit me. What are you, bored for life?" The blonde-haired man roared in anger. He felt his entire face was very sick, and the men who beat him even expressed like innocent people. "But our boss really hit the guy, but how can he be replaced as the boss?" said one of the 5 thugs trying to explain. "Pa, pa, 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 pa." 5 slaps sounded again. "Are you trying to find an excuse again? I ask, how long have you followed me? How could you not get to know your own boss's face?" The blonde-haired man kept getting angry. Boss, the man we are going to hit seems to have gone." The blonde-haired man finally remembered and saw that Chen had left a long time ago. Even the crowds began to gossip. Damn. To save the face of the Red Wolf gang of thugs, finally leave the exhibition venue. Chen did not leave the antiques exhibition and tried to find some items that might be valuable here. Chen started to walk around in every stall in the exhibition, but almost all of the items here were just rubbish. Chen saw an object that made him slightly interested. Somehow that thing was like calling out to him, so Chen went there. Chen then took an iron that looked like a gate to hear the carving of a woman who looked like a fairy. The size of this thing fit in the holder in Chen's hand. See someone interested in his belongings? The seller finally approached Chen. "Dear customer, can I help you?" "Chen, how much is this thing?" "You do have an eye. It is a pretty good object, and this item was found in a cave by an adventurer. The price is not too expensive, only $5,000, the seller said, explaining the item to Chen. Chen had no idea that this metal was very expensive, so Chen tried to put in his mental energy and see what was hidden inside him when Chen's mental energy tried to come in. A very strong force suddenly resisted Chen's mental energy. What? Chen did not expect that the mental energy that would be blocked by a strong force from the thing in his possession. Chen did not give up and wanted to try again, but the result was still the same as before. Chen then tried to bid this item again. "Too expensive. Why can't it be less?" "Sorry, this price is the cheapest customer I can give you," answered the sword. "Okay, but I want one more item." Chen saw a black token that attracted him. The inner layer of this black token was gold, but maybe the sword didn't notice because the black part turned out to be a crust. "How are the $5,000 added to this item?" Chen raised the black token and showed it to the seller. The seller saw that the items that Chen was holding were only items that were not very valuable, and the price did not reach $200, so he was quite happy. "Well, I agree." Seeing the seller agree, Chen handed over $5,000 to the seller. After completing the payment, Chen then left the stall. The seller did not know that the furious he just sold was a very valuable item, but the seller was satisfied with the money and get this time. In China, there are many people who are involved in the profession of selling antique goods because of the income they can get. Quite a lot, even though some of them have to deceive customers into making huge profits. But the greater the price, the greater the risk. If the customer feels cheated and reports to the police, then they can be arrested. In this world, all jobs have risks. Even the easiest jobs also have risks. After Chen left the stall, Chen stopped in a quiet place. Chen saw the 2 items he had just gotten Chen, and then saw this iron-like gate that still holds a lot of mystery for Chen. While for his shop, Chen used his strength to crush all the crust in this token, and a golden token that has a very nice pattern appears. "This piece can be sold at a high price. I will save it in advance and sell it if I have no more money." Chen put the 2 items into his storage ring, but strangely iron-like gate that refused to enter into Chen's storage ring can only sigh and put the iron into his shirt. Ye Chen immediately looked for a hotel to stay in tonight. Liu Yue. The woman who bought Zilao's bracelet from Ye Chen is currently driving her car to the hospital where her grandmother is treated. Liu Yue still hoped that a miracle could happen. Liu Yue finally arrived at the parking lot of the hospital. Hua Hospital is the #1 hospital in the city and has the most reliable equipment and staff. Liu Yue immediately rushed to the ward where her grandmother was treated. Arriving on the ward, an old woman lay in bed. The old woman was wearing an oxygen hose and she was in a coma. Seeing the situation of his grandmother, who like this Liu Yue wanted to cry, Liu Yue approached her grandmother. "Hurry up and heal so you can spend time with me." Liu Yue grabbed one of his grandmother's hands and rubbed it. Liu Yue then took Zilao's bracelet and put it on her grandmother's wrist. Liu Yue hoped that a miracle could happen, but after waiting for a long time, Liu Yue was disappointed that Zilao's bracelet did not seem to cure her grandmother. Of course, the effect of this bracelet is working. It takes time until Liu Yue's grandmother returns to recover. Liu Yue then falls asleep near her grandmother's bed. Time passed so quickly. Liu Yue felt a hand stroking her hair, so Liu Yue opened her eyes. When Liu Yue opened her eyes, she saw her grandmother, who was supposed to be in a coma, woke up. Liu Yue thought that she was dreaming. Liu Yue pinched her cheek and felt sick, so this must be the reality. "Yue, how can you sleep here?" said Liu Yue's grandmother. "Your grandmother, waking up. How are you feeling? Do you feel something unpleasant in your body?" Liu Yue began to look worried about her grandmother's body. "I already feel a little better, even my body feels fresher and lighter than before," said grandmother Liu Yue, trying to move some parts of her body. "Don't move your grandmother much first. I'll call the doctor to know your condition." Liu Yue immediately rushed to call the doctor. Finally, the doctor arrived and examined the condition of his grandmother. "How is my grandmother's condition, doctor?" asked Liu Yue. "His heart rate and body temperature are normal, but the results have to be delayed. Check up tomorrow morning to find out the results, and the patient should be well rested." The doctor then left the ward. Liu Yue is quite happy to see her grandmother is fine. "Grandmother, you heard what the doctor said. You have to rest a lot." Liu Yue pulled the blanket and covered her grandmother. Liu Yue began to look at the bracelet on her grandmother's wrist. It seemed that Ye Chen did not fool him. Liu Yue hoped that the checkup results would be good tomorrow. The sun shone through the window, and Ye Chen finally woke up from his bed. Ye Chen had not slept in this comfortable place for a long time, maybe because the hotel had quite good and comfortable facilities. Today, Ye Chen intends to go to school. Maybe Ye Chen can get yin from a woman who is a virgin. Actually, yin from the air only released by virgin women, and for women who are not virgins, yin can be obtained by intimate relationships, and for double cultivation. A person who is the first time will certainly get the most benefits, the second and third benefits that cannot get more than the first time. Ye Chen first wore a human skin mask that had been damaged with his old face to avoid things like yesterday. Ye Chen went to his school and tried to meet his homeroom teacher, arriving at the hexing school. Ye Chen saw many school children who began to arrive. It had been a year and a half since Ye Chen saw such a scene. Ye Chen then went to the room where the homeroom teacher was there when he got there, and then knocked on the door in. A voice invited from inside, so Ye Chen entered inside. Homeroom teacher Ye Chen is currently sitting and driving a few documents. Seeing who entered was Ye Chen. Then homeroom teacher Ye Chen immediately stood up from his chair. "Ye Chen, is really you, Hem? You still dare to come back after not attending class for more than a month?" Ye Chen's homeroom teacher seemed quite angry when he saw Ye Chen. "Sorry, teacher, I had some personal problems at the time, so I couldn't go back to the city for a few months." Ye Chen tried to explain. "Don't try to find any reason what happened here. You're still wrong." Ye Chen's homeroom teacher sighed. "It's no use for everyone. It's up to the dean whether to expel you or not." "So, teacher, what should I do?" Ye Chen asked. "What's more, of course, go to the dean room right now and see what the dean decides for you," said homeroom teacher Ye Chen. Ye Chen immediately went to the dean room. Ye Chen knocked on the door and the dean invited Ye Chen to enter. Who? Asked the old dean Ye Chen. I'm Ye Chen, student in class B, second year. Oh, so you are a student who is said to be absent from class for more than 1 month. You know this school has rules and you have broken the union, the dean told Ye Chen. Ye Chen. Will I be expelled from school? Actually, Ye Chen didn't really care about going to school if he was kicked out. Ye Chen left to find another school that would accept him. Dean. Even though I won't kick you out, from now on you will be transferred to Class J. Ye Chen, Class J. Classes are a place for troubled children in our school, the dean explained to Ye Chen. And from now on you will move to that class. You can go directly to Class J right now. The dean told Ye Chen to go. After Ye Chen left the dean room, Ye Chen immediately went to Class J. When he got to the door of Class J, Ye Chen heard a very noisy voice from inside. Ye Chen didn't enter right away because someone put the bucket on top of that door, and if it was opened, the amoeba would definitely hit the person who opened the door. Looks like this trap wasn't set up for Ye Chen. Sure enough, a boy walking closer to the door of this male class exuded a gloomy aura. As this young man opened the door to Ye Chen, immediately holding this young man's shoulder so that he wouldn't go any further. Beer! Bang! Bang! The sound of water falling followed by ember bees was heard when someone opens the door of the class. All the eyes of the students in the class aim at the door. Some want to see a good show, but see a trap they make unaffected, they are disappointed. Soon some boys take mops and clean the dirty floor. It seems the culprit is these guys. The floor that looked empty again was clean. The boy with a gloomy aura didn't even thank Ye Chen and went straight to his seat. Ye Chen just shook his head and prepared to find a seat. Ye Chen looked around the classroom and found an empty bench at the very back, so Ye Chen decided to sit there. When he got there, Ye Chen took a chair and sat down. Because Ye Chen wore a human skin mask that made him no longer the spotlight of many people. Hey, what classmate did you just transferred here? The man in front of Ye Chen turned around and asked Ye Chen. Yes, starting from today, I will be transferred to class, Ye Chen answered. Oh, so that's what my name is, Zhang Liao. You may call me Zhang Liao. Zhang Liao reached out his hand and wanted to shake hands with Ye Chen. Ye Chen, my name is Ye Chen, nice to meet you. Ye Chen then shook Zhang Liao's hand. Zhang Liao, hey Ye Chen, if I were you, I would immediately move from that seat. Why? Ye Chen asked. That's because... Before Zhang Liao finished speaking, the class door opened again. When the class door opens and a beautiful woman enters, that woman, 17 or 18 years old, a beautiful face can attract all men who see her height, 165 centimeters, smooth legs, clearly visible. The woman has long straight hair and wears a butterfly bow on the right side. Her newly developing body hair was wrapped in a pure white shirt as the beautiful woman walked. The whole view of the men in the class was only focused on her. The beautiful woman then walked towards Ye Chen and sat right beside Ye Chen. Ye Chen Yang saw that this was quite enthusiastic. Ye Chen had no idea that on the first day, he would move class to be directly at the table with this beautiful girl. Ye Chen didn't even think that the most problematic class in the classroom turned out to have a very beautiful woman. When the woman sat down, the woman looked at Ye Chen, even though Ye Chen was a man. So Ye Chen, who should have introduced himself. Hello, classmate. My name is Ye Chen. May I get acquainted with you? Ye Chen reached out his hand. Hello, I'm Zhao Yanyan. Nice to meet you. Zhao Yanyan shook Ye Chen's hand and threw a smile at Ye Chen. Zhao Yanyan. Besides, beauty was also always friendly to everyone. That's why Zhao Yanyan could be popular. Ye Chen, feeling Zhao Yanyan's hand, was very gentle. Zhao Yanyan, who shook hands with Ye Chen, felt like being shocked and hurriedly took his hands off Ye Chen. As Zhao Yanyan pulled her hand too fast, Ye Chen felt a little lost. After introducing himself, Zhao Yanyan took the book from his bag and started reading it. Ye Chen wanted to start the conversation, but saw Zhao Yanyan learning. Ye Chen undid his intention, so Ye Chen wasted no time and absorbed the air, yin, from Zhao Yanyan. Ye Chen continued to focus on spreading energy, yin, until the teacher entered the class. The morning class was math, and the teacher who taught was middle-aged male. The teacher on the podium continued to explain, but all the students didn't want to pay attention. All students in the classroom are too engrossed in their own world. Some gossip, some sleep, some play their cell phones. But the odd teacher on the podium does not dare to reprimand or scold these students. This is Class J class, that is filled with students who have low academic grades, and also many students who have problems. Everything in this class seems uninterested with the lesson. The reason the school does not voice them out is that the average person in this class is a parent. They are rich people or officials. Therefore, the school will not do difficult things as long as they do not cause problems that are serious enough for schools. On the other hand, Ye Chen saw Zhao Yanyan. Just pay attention to the lesson that was conveyed by the teacher on the podium. Ye Chen could only ask Tanya from wherever Zhao Yanyan was a girl who liked to learn how it might be that Zhao Yanyan was in a class like this. Ye Chen couldn't possibly ask it directly because the two of them just met just now. Ye Chen didn't want to think about it anymore, so Ye Chen took the math book from his bag and studied it. Ye Chen found it very easy to memorize the formula because Ye Chen was now a cultivator. Ye Chen could more easily remember everything very easily. Ye Chen flipped the page quickly, but everything on the page was stored clearly in Ye Chen's memory. After finishing with the math book, Ye Chen continued with the other books. Zhao Yanyan, who was next to Ye Chen, sometimes stole Ye Chen's direction. The things Ye Chen did was quite strange. Ye Chen flipped the page quickly. Zhao Yanyan felt Ye Chen was cool in his own world, different from every male student. Who sat at the table with him, always looked at Zhao Yanyan with a wanting gaze that made Zhao Yanyan uncomfortable. But Ye Chen. After the introduction, Ye Chen was like, not interested in him, didn't even look at him. For some reason, Zhao Yan is annoyed. Zhao Yanyan is a woman who since she was young gets public focus. Zhao Yanyan has quite a lot of male pursuers, and almost all of them are the second-generation rich people. But all of them, Zhao Yanyan rejects and ignores. Now seeing Ye Chen ignoring her, Zhao Yanyan was annoyed. Until the end of the class, Ye Chen was still cool studying the book Namu Ye Chen, also did not forget to absorb the air, yin, from Zhao Yanyan. It was a break time. Many students headed to the cafeteria to buy food. Ye Chen also intended to go there. Hey, wait, Ye Chen, where are you going? Asked Zhang Liao, Ye Chen, to the school cafeteria. I'm coming. Zhang Liao then moved from his seat and went to the cafeteria with Ye Chen. Zhao Yanyan, who saw Ye Chen leaving, was quite annoyed. Even Ye Chen did not intend to invite him. During recess like this, many men would take Zhao Yanyan to go to the cafeteria, but he always refused. Zhao Yanyan, why do I have to think of things like that? After all, he is not who I am too. Zhao Yanyan then also wanted to go towards the cafeteria. Because Ye Chen's class was in the uppermost building, Ye Chen and Zhang Liao had to go down the stairs first. Ye Chen saw 8 students trying to carry a large piano up the stairs to the top floor. When Zhang Liao arrived on the first floor, Zhang Liao suddenly felt like urinating. Ye Chen, wait a minute, I want to go to the toilet, Zhang Liao said. Ye Chen could only wait for Zhang Liao next to the stairs. When Ye Chen looked at the steps, Ye Chen saw Zhao Yanyan also coming down. How to get off Zhao Yanyan. Quite elegant. Be careful away from the road. A panicked voice sounded from above, trying to evict from the stairway. Ye Chen saw the great piano sliding down the stairs to the bottom. It seemed like the person who had brought it up had lost the grip that made the piano slide down. Zhao Yan, who was in the middle of the ladder, confused where to run. Seeing there was no time to run, Zhao Yanyan closed his eyes and accepted his destiny. Ye Chen immediately ran and quickly was behind Zhao Yanyan, and the group grabbed Zhao Yanyan's waist and hugged him, and Ye Chen held the piano with the other arm. Bang! A loud voice sounded. Ye Chen did not want to expose his strength, so Ye Chen pretended to bounce backwards to fall to the floor, but Ye Chen tried to keep Zhao Yanyan from getting hurt in the process. Ah! The screams of the students who saw the event sounded. The weight of the piano was almost hundreds of kilos, and moreover it was sliding at a rapid pace. The person who was hit by the piano would surely be badly injured or even die. Ye Chen saw Zhao Yanyan, who was in his arms, still closed his eyes and his whole body shook. Great, hey, wake up! Zhao Yanyan, who heard this voice, immediately opened his eyes. When Zhao Yanyan opened his eyes, he saw Ye Chen's face, and at this time Zhao Yanyan was being hugged by Ye Chen. Zhao Yanyan immediately freed himself from Ye Chen's arms and stood up. Zhao Yanyan finally understood Ye Chen really saved him. If it wasn't for him holding down the sliding piano, that might be Zhao Yanyan would be severely injured. Zhao Yanyan was quite touched by what Ye Chen did. Ye Chen was even willing to save the person he just knew. If it was someone else, then it might be preferable to save themselves. Ye Chen got up from the floor, and Zhao Yanyan helped him a little to get up from the floor. Ye Chen, you're fine, Zhao Yanyan asked. It's okay, just a little muscle spasms, I'm a strong person. Things like this where it might hurt Ye Chen, who is a cultivator. If there wasn't anyone around here, Ye Chen would definitely choose to use his strength, but Ye Chen was trying not to expose his strength as much as possible. Maybe we should go to the infirmary to check your condition, Zhao Yanyan suggested. Ye Chen, I don't really need to be alright, but Zhao Yanyan was still worried about Ye Chen's condition. How could a new person hit a piano by hundreds of kilos and bounce off, which might be alright? Ye Chen, are you alright? Zhang Liao, who just came from the toilet, came back later. Yes, I'm fine. Let's go to the school canteen. Ye Chen invited Zhang Liao to go to the school canteen. Classmate Zhao Yanyan, if there is nothing else, then me and Zhang Liao will have to go to the canteen first. Ye Chen then went towards the canteen with Zhang Liao. Because Zhao Yanyan was still a little worried about Ye Chen's condition, Zhao Yanyan followed behind Ye Chen. Again, Pula Zhao Yanyan also intended to go to the school canteen from the start.